Hi there, Joe. I guess we should first start off by asking you to explain a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Sure. I'm Joe DiTomaso. I'm the co-founder and CEO of AllTheRooms, the world's largest accommodation search engine containing the world's largest collection of accommodations industry-based data.
Awesome, amazing. Cool. And so Stay Here is going to be a new program that launches on Netflix. How did you get involved with Stay Here?
Yeah, we're really excited about the show. They actually reached out to us to be one of the co-hosts of the show. We ended up being one of 3 out of 300 that got presented to the network. Really exciting. We ended up not getting a co-host spot, but we ended up being put in a pretty powerful and exciting position, which was access to our data. And what ended up happening was they were so intrigued and excited about the materials we were presenting, which is the materials actually behind me on the wall, that we had a few discussions and we figured out a way where we would integrate all of our data throughout the show, not just as an advisor, but really to make and create a foundation, which was to provide really deep insights into the vacation rental market, really to help out the property owners and the property managers that whose properties and homes were being transformed by the entire show. So when you watch the series and you watch the trailer, you actually see what's happening. We're going in and we're actually changing people's lives, which is really exciting. We're really happy to be a part of that process. The data and the insights appear in almost every episode. So we actually provided insights into each of the cities that they visited, providing with growth trends, ADRs, occupancy rates, even impact analysis. So imagine if your property is located in a specific geographic location within a half mile or 2.5 mile or 5 mile radius. What does the vacation rental market look like? What does your surrounding market look like? How do you price your properties? How do you position your properties appropriately? We also spend time helping advise the show for each of the episodes. So my team came up with the idea for rainbow-colored bagels for them in the Brooklyn edition. Our team came up with the idea of turning the Hudson unit into an antique shop where you actually go there and sleep. Then you can actually, the apartment itself, because Hudson Valley is a big antique place. The idea was to decorate the place and turn it into an antique shop. And then when you stay there, you can actually almost like live in the antique shop and you can actually buy things as you leave. So we pretty much helped advise throughout the show, just on a personal level in terms of how to think about and look at each of the properties, how to think about the surrounding market, how to price the individual units. We did everything we could to provide the team with really powerful insights into the market, both on a quantitative basis, but also a qualitative basis. Meaning like what's going on in that particular local market that folks should really be leveraging, whether it be home-grown foods or localized beer, anything within that particular market that would really lend itself towards that experience. If you're staying in Brooklyn, what is the Brooklyn experience? If you're staying in Hudson Valley, what is the Hudson Valley experience? Or DC or wherever you're going, that is a big piece of why the short-term vacation rental market has taken off. It's not, hey, I'm going to Cancun to go stay in a fancy resort on the beach. I'm in this case going to Peru or to Colombia, and I'm going to know what it's like to live like a local. I'm going to know what it's like to experience life the way the locals experience it. And what does that mean? And that's the big reason why the short-term vacation rental market has taken off in the way that it has. Is that it's not hey, I'm going to go stay at a hotel and be on vacation. I'm having an experience. The experience is the entire package, not just going to a location and taking pictures and reminiscing. It's doing
sounds like a really interesting collision of data, creativity, and experience, which is pretty unique.
Yeah, that was the idea behind it. The idea behind it was, and I think that's one of the reasons why we were so successful with working with Netflix and working with the show, was that this wasn't a branded marketing pitch. This was, look, we will be integral to the spirit of the show. We will help build a layer of the foundation of what it is you guys are trying to do, because we, more than anyone else, understand that market.
Absolutely, definitely. And can you tell us a little bit about your personal experience being on the show? What was it like being part of that, being on the set, meeting the presenters?
Yeah, it was a new experience for me. It was fun. It was kind of, nonchalant. They had you sit in front of a cafe in Washington D.C. and the guys come walking around, sit down, and the camera's rolling, and you're just talking.
Just a natural.
There was no prep. There was no. You're just at it, and either work or the chemistry was there. The chemistry wasn't there, but it felt like it went well. It was pretty exciting. They made me grow out the beard for it. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Great. I'm sure you're a natural, definitely. And so I guess moving on a little bit back to the company, why do you think it is that a company like AllTheRooms is more compatible than, say, other online travel agents for a program like Stay Here?
Yeah, look, I think one of the really powerful things amongst many about AllTheRooms is the fact that our mission really is to aggregate and catalog every room on the planet. And when that's your mission, the insights that you end up having on the data and data analytics side are incredibly rich. They're above and beyond anything else out there. And then on the consumer side, when you're coming and doing a search, just like you do a search on Google, you're looking for information. But you're looking for information because you're looking for peace of mind. You're looking for a sense of comfort that, hey, I found what I wanted to find on the internet and I've made the right choice. So our consumer side of the product allows for that as well. There isn't a site out there, not even Google, comes close to doing what we do. Google actually calls us up and asks for our data and our insights into the space. So it's a pretty amazing position. It's an incredibly unique position. And I think it's one of the reasons why we're so successful as a company, but we're and are very successful with our relationship with Stay Here, the Netflix original series.
Because it's quite unusual for companies to be featured on Netflix, isn't it?
Sorry, what was that?
It's quite unusual for companies to be featured on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I think one of the things that is really difficult, from my understanding, is that Netflix doesn't do branded deals, and I think one of the reasons for that is because we were consistently adding value throughout the show. Even when the show wasn't on, we acted as consultants to the team. Anything came up, they would call us, we'd give them our insights and our feedback. We're really there to help make the show successful. It wasn't about, hey, here's a lot of money, have my logo show up, or put my can of Coca-Cola on the screen. It was really the way, at least the way we thought about it was, we wanted to be integral with the show. We wanted to help build the foundation for the show. We wanted to add value for the homeowners, but also really empower the network and really empower the co-hosts so that when they were there, they were knowledgeable, they spoke intelligently, and they knew how to pass on that value. It's a very, very different value prop than, hey, here's a lot of money, put my logo on.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the big reasons why we are and we're so successful.
Definitely, yeah. And so what do you think a show like Stay Here means for the ever-growing vacation rentals market?
Look, I wouldn't be surprised if the other travel channels came out. I don't know anything, but I wouldn't be surprised after hearing about this and seeing this it is a really unique and exciting and interesting take on the real estate market and the homeowners market, right? Everything else out there is home ownership. It's buy a property to flip from a financial perspective. No one's talking about the impact it has on individuals' lives. No one's talking about the economy that gets created around these products and around this entire cottage industry. You know, there's one end of it where folks are talking about the experience that you have when you travel to a particular destination, but you really forget about the homeowners themselves, right? So a person who has a home, it's really their most valuable asset, but it's also their most illiquid asset, right? And if you look at what happened, during the Bruce Greenspan days, of low interest rates and take out a home equity loan, that was a way to actually extract value out of your most valuable, most illiquid asset. What the vacation rental market allows the homeowner to do, it allows them to do exactly that. It allows them to actually extract money and extract dollars, extract an income out of what traditionally was a dead asset, not the right word, but an asset that you've invested in, and then how do you extract value out of it? The only way you can really extract value out of it was to actually sell it. Now the vacation rental market's been around for years, but it really was geared towards someone who had maybe a home in New York and then maybe a secondary home in Hawaii, and they travel to that unit 1 month a year, and then they vacation rental as the rest to actually offset the income. What you have going on now is you've got metropolitan cities that are taking these units and they're actually figuring out ways to monetize them at a much higher rate. Right? You can long-term lease it for a few dollars, short-term lease it, and the economics actually end up being substantially higher, which is probably one of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of municipalities like Santa Monica or some of the other bigger cities taking a focus on this, because it does have an impact on the clearing price for what a unit should go for in terms of square footage by rent. But what people don't also realize is that it has an impact on the homeless rate, which have actually increased due to the vacation rental market industry. But again, these are issues that can be dealt with, but they're important factors.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's quite humanizing to have a show that focuses on an industry that so many people utilize. So then, moving on from that, how do you think viewers are going to respond to the show?
Oh, I watched the trailer. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a lot more fun and engaging and transformational than I had expected. And I think when you look at the global footprint of the volume of vacation rental units that are out there, there are close to over 9.5 million vacation rental units globally. That's through the various vacation rental sites, and a lot more coming. That's going to have a huge impact on people. The ability to actually be able to go online, improve the quality of their product, figure out how to improve their utilization, their occupancy rates, their bookings, the difference between things like instant book and non-instant book, property descriptions, reviews. It is a whole cottage industry, and then don't forget, it's a cottage industry that has a real impact. You're talking about units. Some of these units make anything between $20,000 and some make $250,000 a year, depending on the location. If you're a single homeowner, or if this is your industry or your business, that's real money that has an impact on me as an individual if it's my property. But it also has a huge localized impact, right? You're talking about places like Brooklyn, New York, $309 million gross sales in the past 12 months ago in the vacation rental market. That's real dollars that go back into that local economy, right? What impact does that have? Not just on tax collections and all that kind of stuff. What does that do in terms of dollars that are being invested back in the community? So I think it's going to do very well. I'm very excited about it. If it does go as well as I hope, I think season 2 or season 3 or an international version or others could come out of this, which we're excited about.
Yeah, hopefully. And so then my final question to you, just to quickly wrap up, is what's next for AllTheRooms?
What's next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe. I think our data analytics product and our data solution is a really powerful tool. I think we're already starting to see reverse inquiry from folks as the name gets out there. I think there's everything from our customized enterprise solutions that we actually sell to some pretty big folks across the industry, both on the government side as well as the corporate side. Potentially even a consumer-facing product. We can talk about that. And then our marketing team and our search engine itself, in terms of its scalability and its growth, that's another big aspect for us. And then we're playing around with some other really big ideas in the blockchain space that I think could be transformational for both ourselves, but also for travelers across the planet.
Amazing. Well, I wish you the best of luck with everything. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Grace. I appreciate it.